Heyo! Life application overview of the Sunday school lesson entitled Mediator of the New Covenant for Sunday, November the 19th, 2017. What is a mediator? A mediator is someone who acts through an intervening agency. In other words, a mediator may be a person that acts as a go-between, a facilitator, initiator, organizer, or a helper in resolving issues, intervening between people that may need their services. In Old Testament times, people approached God very carefully, especially at Mount Sinai, where they received the Ten Commandments, the law given to the people through Moses. Remember when the force of God descended on the mountain, and thunder and lightning? Also, the loud trumpet blast, along with the voice of the Lord, and darkness scared the people so much that they trembled. Don't forget about how the mountains was filled with smoke and fire and shook viciously. God made his presence known in a mysteriously big way. In New Testament times, the Lord's presence was manifested at Mount Zion, the heavenly Jerusalem city. Mount Sinai represented the believer's life in terms of faith. Our belief in God is based on faith, not someone we can physically see, but someone or something we believe exists. Just like we believe by faith that our names are written in the book of life, even though we have not seen it. Believers become holy by Christ's atonement. Holy means to be devoted to the Lord, initiated by our acceptance of Jesus as our personal Savior. As a result of accepting Jesus as our personal Savior, making a verbal commitment, we believers have the responsibility to pray, watch what we say, how we say it, and to do things that please God and encourage others. Atonement is a reconciliation of God and humanity through Christ's sacrificial life, death, and resurrection. What does living in peace with each other look like? Simply getting along in spite of our differences in opinions, appearances, education, background, where we came from and how we were raised, race, beliefs, communicating when we don't feel like it or if we're pissed off for whatever reason, forgiving, apologizing when necessary, providing grace when needed, not holding grudges, and not being revengeful. I have a lot to work on. How about you? Jesus' role as mediator for the new covenant was God's plan. Humans have gotten so far out of touch with God and each other, doing whatever we want to do and treating each other any old way and saying any old thing, that God has so much love and compassion for us that he gave us a way to be, quote unquote, pull back in and, quote unquote, get our act together. We're living in a time of great deceit. As believers, if we are really serious about our faith, we should put effort into trying to do the right thing. We're humans, so we will do things and say things without thinking or realizing the impact our words may have on someone. We also may have had attitudes and moods that are not representative of who we say we are, but we should not lose hope. We should treat people the way we want to be treated and not make excuses for not doing so, even though it's attempting to place blame on others. Just like the Israelites had a history of being disobedient to God's law, it may have been too much for them to handle. God still loved them and provided a way for them, as well as a way for us today to be reconciled to him through acceptance of his son, Jesus.